Welcome everybody, and join me in welcoming this wonderful man. We affectionately call him RD, but he's General Rattandeep Singh, retired from the Indian Army, and a wonderful human being. My first experience of him was maybe 3 or 4 years ago when I attended the Access Body class when he was the only facilitator in India. And when I met him, and then I got to know who he is and what he has done, I was quite surprised, you know. And today we have an opportunity to talk to him and learn from his experiences in the army, after the army, and after that when he came into India with Access Consciousness. So, Adi sir, my first question to you is: you went into the army, okay, and you spent 40 years over there. Now that must have been quite a learning experience. So would you like to share something about that with us?
Yeah, first I'd like to share as to why I joined the army.
Hmm.
I joined the army because I hated studies. And I didn't want to appear in the board exam. In those days, it used to be higher secondary. And for getting into NDA or to become a cadet in the NDA, you had to just pass the 10th class, which was a school exam, which I had passed. So I went and appeared in the exams and got selected. But unfortunately, I didn't realize that in the army, you have to study more than you have to study anywhere else. So that is the motivation for joining the army was that. But after that, it was a great ride. The army was a wonderful experience, and an experience which I feel that more youngsters must experience. And it is a very beautiful experience. And the amount I learned in the army was very amazing. Yep.
Any particular nuggets of learning that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah. Firstly, I felt that in the army, you normally feel that everything is told to you and you have to do it in a fixed way, but you always have a choice within yourself to do what you would like to do, what's right for you, which is pretty amazing because I didn't know we had that thing, but it happened that way. And I did many things in the army which were not conventional. I was a very unconventional officer in the army, did many things which were not as per the laid down regulations or rules. But I enjoyed it. I had real fun. It was an opportunity for you to create something, to do something. And one of the things that I did wherever I could was I created an atmosphere in which the people subordinate to me had a culture and a privilege of enjoying what they were doing and not
Hmm.
taking it as a punishment. And I used to always consult them and then, try to come to some. And I was not used to giving orders to them, do it this way. I used to say, look, you are here with your capacities and capabilities, and so you have a different way of contributing, and I'd like you to contribute in your way because I can't be best at everything. So in the army, normally you have the tendency that the higher up you go, you become an authority on everything, but you can't be. And
Hmm.
that's one thing I realized, and that worked so beautifully for me.
So you must have gone through the staff college and the National Defense College and all these things.
No, I couldn't make it to the National Defense College, but I made it to the Staff College and I made it to the LDMC, that is the management thing. So it was good fun. Enjoyed very much.
Fantastic.
Had a lot of field tenures, served in Sikkim, in J&K and all. Good fun.
Hmm. And then you retired after 40 years.
Yeah,
So what
yeah.
was that like?
No, I was pretty prepared to retire because you see what happened that there was some uh, controversy about my being selected for the higher rank and all. But my attitude was the army doesn't need me. I'm done with it. Thank you very much, and I'll happily retire. So I retired, and after retirement, I did a few. I joined a civil intelligence agency, which I
Oh,
within a year or two I left it because it was so corrupt, so full of
oh.
not very nice, not nice atmosphere. So I left it. And then I worked with a a Dutch company for 2.5 years in India, in Bombay. And then after that, I started doing all these other modalities. Of course, I'd become a Reiki Grandmaster while I was still in the army. And
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, yeah. And I
What
did
made you
a,
choose that?
huh? What?
What made you choose to do that?
Yeah, I had a very nice uh, coach who was a Reiki Grandmaster, and she said that you must become a great Grandmaster too. So I became one.
Who was this?
This was forgetting her name.
Shamal.
No, no. No, that lady in Delhi, Delhi.
Sangeeta. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Rohini from Delhi.
Oh, yeah. I know Rohini. Okay. Good, great. Fantastic.
She is the one who made me a grandmaster. So, and it was good fun.
And
Yeah.
what was your experience of that? Because I noticed that you've done some other modalities as well.
Yeah. So Reiki I found was a very, very interesting modality here also because you could, actually see results
Mhm.
happening. You could see people actually healing themselves, healing their lives. So it was very, very empowering. And I enjoyed being doing Reiki and really enjoyed it. It was a
Mhm.
good, very good experience in Reiki.
And then all these other things which you did.
Yeah, so I did NLP. Someone in between told me must do NLP. So I did NLP and I enjoyed the thing, but I didn't go forward in it. I just did the basic this thing of NLP. Then I did EFT. I did psychic
Oh,
healing.
okay.
I did psychic healing. Then I did past life regression. Then I did past life rebirthing. So a lot of things, a lot of meditations. I
So
at one stage we used to go all over India teaching people to meditate for free. And we used to meditate many, many, many hours till I got into access. When I got to realize that you don't really have to meditate. So it was quite a
So
change.
access. Now
Hmm.
that is the what shall I say? Would it be a turning point for you? And how did
Yeah,
you
it
get
was.
into access actually?
It was a turning point because everywhere else you found that there were very strict protocols and rules to be followed. Whichever modality you went into, there were rules. And I did pranic healing, where again you had to do a lot of having a salt bath and doing this and cutting the cords and all that sort of stuff. So it was very structured. So here I found it was very open and free. So I got into this in 2010. In 2010, Dane's book came out, Being You Changing the World.
Okay.
Being You Changing the World, that book.
I
So
know that book. Yeah.
yeah, that book was gifted to me by my sister who's in the US, and I was in Australia. So I read the book and I should read to Kiran and we say, yeah, this is how we should live our life. What are we doing? Doing meditation and all this stuff. So she said, why don't you do it? You have nothing else to do. Let's do it. So in the end of the book, he talks something about a bars class or something, access consciousness and bars. So then I Googled on the net and I found there are some people in Australia who were conducting bars classes. So then I said, let's go and do this. So she said, normally Kiran and me, we did all the modalities together.
Together.
But she said, yeah, we don't know what's bar. I have not experienced it. And I just retired and my pension was miserable. It was just about 30,000 rupees. We couldn't even pay the house staff. So she said, yeah, it's costing you $250. I think you do it and let's see what it is. And then So I said, okay. So I went and did that. And at that time, there was no Indian prices and all. It was all 100% because there were no one outside of US and England and Germany who were perhaps doing this act. So I went and did it, and then I came and started running people's bars at home. My son, daughter-in-law, the grandchildren, and Kiran, and there was some change which felt. And she said that, look, I'm very impressed by the changes that are coming, and I would like to do this now. I said, okay. So then she also did it. So we both became bars facilitators. I think the first bars facilitators from India. So that is the journey into access. And I'm so thankful to the facilitators, my first access facilitators from Australia, who really, and there's where I found the first difference between other modalities and access. I went to do the bars class, and that lady had on the side, she had about 30, 40 books, access books. So I said, could you suggest some book for me? She said, no, I can't. I said, why? Haven't you read them? She said, no, I have read them. So I said, why don't you suggest something to me? She said, I can't. I said, this is funny. Why can't you? She said, because you have to ask which book is calling you, which book you would like to read,
Mm.
and you buy it. I can't suggest to you a book.
Mhm.
I said, I was just imagining if I was in her place and I had all these books, I'd say, you buy this, buy this, buy this, because I wanted to sell. And
Yes.
she was not interested in selling. So that is the first difference I found between Access and the other modalities, where it is not about making money, it is not about, pushing people into buying things or doing things. So that was a great experience I found. And that lady who was my first bar facilitator, she was driving me home in a car. So I gave her the address. I said, won't you put it in your Google Maps and all? She said, I don't use Google Maps. I said, why? She said, if I use Google Maps, then where is my awareness going to go? That sort of again shook me, that in this world, there was someone who was driving around without using Google Maps. So,
Mm. And this was all in Australia.
all in Australia, yes.
Okay. So how did it happen that you decided to bring it to India and then
Yeah, so what
today,
happened? Yeah, when I did that first class with her, she said that if you do two more classes at 50% prices, then you can run such class also. You can become a facilitator and you can conduct these bars classes. So I thought to myself, that's a very interesting thing. This is something from outside India I'll be taking into India. And here was an opportunity for me to make money because no one would have heard it, no one would have done it. So I looked at it that way. So I told Kiran, and she also agreed. So we then both did two more classes and became bars facilitators and brought it to India, hoping to make money. But that was the biggest mistake I think we made because as long as we thought that we can use this to make money, no one came.
oh,
It's only once we dropped that, and I sat down with Kiran and I said, yeah, this is not working. So what would it take for us to just spread consciousness without having any monetary gains in it? And then we used to go all over conducting classes. First, we used to do an introduction, and then we started uh, conducting bars classes for people. And then within a year of becoming a bars facilitator, I became a CF, a certified access facilitator. And the whole process of that in those days also must have cost me what 7 to 8 lakhs, including travel
yeah.
and staying and everything.
And
I
you had to travel abroad to do all these
Yeah,
classes?
yeah, yeah.
Nothing online.
There were one or two classes which we did online, but mostly it was abroad. So it was quite an expensive thing, and I don't know till now how and where the money showed up from. I really can't tell you.
Yeah, it
And
does.
that sort of made me realize, my God, we make money, and at that time, money was very significant to us. But
Mm.
now it isn't. And that's one of the biggest changes that has come about in our life is that money is no longer of any significance. It is there. It is available to all of us. All we need to is just request it to come in, and it comes in, and it keeps coming in. And you're not taking from anyone else. There's enough for everyone to go around.
Yeah, my experience exactly,
Yeah.
especially after I did Access.
Yeah, most people who once they come into access and they start getting really serious about it, for all of them, money ceases to be of significance.
So how, I mean, can you tell us more about how, see, this is two people go to Australia, come back and that try to spread the word. And I think in say about 10 years time, I think we are there in so many cities and there are so many
Yeah,
facilitators thanks to what you did.
it is unimaginable. But I remember when we used to come, we used to tell people. So you see, in those days, you could do a Reiki class for about 1,000 or 2,000 rupees, and here I was selling them something which was about, I think in those days it was about 10,000 rupees a bars class. So they could reconcile, that between this
How
and
come?
it was quite a jump. But then slowly people started. We used to have intro nights, and then we used to get people to experience bars. We should do a lot of free bars sessions for people, and we traveled a lot all over India trying to spread this thing. And many people thought that I was from the army. So when I said come and experience bars, they thought I'm going to have a wine tasting or something, So yeah, but then people started coming. It was very, very difficult. It was, and there's this thing that you keep 10% for yourself, out of what all the earnings as a honoring of yourself. So I think I used to do a bars session for about 500 or 600 rupees in those days. So that 50 rupees I should put in a bugni, that money box, put it aside. That's how you started, it was quite a journey, but quite a memorable and an enjoyable journey. Yes.
So what was the transformation that you started experiencing in your life? How
Yeah.
has life been unfolding since then? Other than this money thing, you got
No,
freedom from that.
see, firstly, once you did the foundation, life just changed totally. Because till then you were living in this reality, always doing the right thing, or not wanting to do the wrong thing, making the right choices, and being positive and this and that. And then suddenly you realize that this right and wrong, good and bad is all made up to control us. And you can change and do anything and be anything that you could. And another thing which really moved both of us was that Access was not telling you to create this particular reality. If you go to any other guru or any other modality, they will tell you you have to do this and this will become your reality. But in
Mm,
Access, every single person creates their own reality, which is different from others.
mm,
This was something very unique, because unlike other modalities, they were not telling you do this. They were saying choose what is right for you. And
mm.
as all of us are unique people, we all have a different way of living our lives, and therefore different realities got created. And I found a blossoming of different realities in our life. And there was ease in relationships, there was ease in uh, every aspect. You never made yourself. Otherwise, we always judging ourselves, making us wrong. No, there was no question of judging. You were just there, doing things which were fun for you. And that is the first time I really truly realized that the real aim of life is to have fun. And if you're
Yeah,
having fun, money will come to you.
yeah. This is one thing I discovered that, people don't know the meaning of the word freedom.
Yes,
And
true.
after Access, I discovered what freedom means.
It truly is. The only place where you can really know what freedom is coming to Access.
So, anything else of significance you'd like to share with us? Otherwise, I'd like you to, since you are the most senior person in Access in India. So, what would you like to say to the new, bars facilitators and other CFs who are following in your footsteps?
So what I'd like to say is that it is very easy in the class to tell people that these are the clearings, and these are the processes you can do to change your life. But what is very difficult to do is to actually practice them on yourself. And very often I found in between that we were teaching this, but we were not following it on ourselves.
Mm,
And that realization came that look, what is more important is that whether you teach classes or don't teach classes, practice these processes on yourself in your life. Actually practice them. Do it every day. You can't do it casually or offhand. It is a full-time commitment to be in Access and to follow things. And another thing which I would advise people is that please Access is a area in which no competition is required. You don't have to compete with anyone. You just have to compete with yourself to make yourself better than what you were yesterday or earlier. But don't compete. And many people coming to Access are competing. They are creating their thing. So I advise them that please stop it. It is not going to contribute to either you or the spread of consciousness. And don't make money a significant issue while you're doing your classes. And it hit us quite strongly when we used to go to other cities to do classes, and there were hardly anyone who showed up. I remember we went to Bangalore to do a foundation class, and our host said there were about 7 people who wanted to come. I said, very good, let's go. We went. And before that, he rang up and said, that for some reason or other, they have all dropped off. There's only one person. Has that person paid up? He says, yes. So I said, then we're coming. He said, sir, you come here, you will not even meet your expenses of traveling and staying. And how can you? So we postponed it. I said, no. If that person is there and he's paid up, even one person, we are coming. So we went there, and we had one person doing the class, and in the last minute, one more person joined in. So just the 2 people doing foundation class, and we were there. And one of the persons there who attended the class was Dattu.
Okay.
And if I had not done that class, Dattu may not have perhaps been in Access.
Yeah. And look what a phenomenal job he's doing.
Yes, and when he shared with us, he said that he was working in a company, so he said I asked them for a day's leave to attend this class, and they didn't give me a day's leave, so I left my job.
Oh.
So I told Kiran, I said, see, Kiran, if he had not come here, this person would have left his job and not done the class. So what is this thing that brought us there? So now also we go to places where we make money good, where we don't, it's okay. Still, at least we are spreading consciousness, we're spreading awareness to people. And I also realized that perhaps the first person who came to do a bars class with us in Chandigarh was someone from Bombay. She had gone up to Shimla for a vacation. On the way back, she and her daughter said, we'll come and do a bars class with you here. So she came. Then there was another person from Bombay who was in the film industry. He also wanted to come all the way here because there were not many people. There was nowhere else who could do it. So he also came and did the bars class with us. So people used to start coming from different places. Even now, at times we had a foundation recently in which there were 4 people who came. All came from outside Chandigarh. Not a single person from Chandigarh. So when people come to you and they want to do something, please contribute to them. And you will have enough opportunity to make money. Money is a side, something which is incidental, which shows up in your life, as long as you are happy and having fun. And fortunately, we were both involved in it, So Kiran and me, both of us were doing it together, and we traveled together, we stayed together, we had fun together, and it was amazing. And it's a whole new family we created all over India, people who had done classes with us, and it was just mind-blowing and absolutely amazing experience.
So what's next?
I think we'll carry on with Access. I've got happy. I've got not very much ambitions to do this and to do that. So I just carry on doing my foundation, and I love doing the foundation and the body class. These 2 classes I really enjoy. And my traveling, earlier on when we stopped doing Access for money, we got invited to unbelievable number of countries abroad, from Japan to Russia to Turkey to Netherlands to Mauritius, to so many countries all over the world. We were traveling, doing foundation classes and then body classes.
Wow.
So it was quite an amazing experience. Now you cut down a little on foreign because now there are enough facilitators all over.
Oh, yeah.
And I've also cut down on doing bars classes because I feel that it is very important that we allow the bars facilitators to conduct bars classes rather than us. Yeah. So just enjoy the thing, have fun, use the tools on yourself, grow, and then keep sharing your experiences with whomever you teach.
So what would you say to someone on this audience who may be watching us and they are looking at, they're seeking something in their life, right? what would you say to them so that they may want to look at access as a possibility?
So I'll only say from my personal experience, having done at least about 10 or 12 different types of modalities over the years, that access is a set of tools and processes that gives you the freedom and empowers you to create something which no one else, no other modality does. So if you are stuck, if you don't know what to do, if you are struggling, give access a chance, give it an opportunity to show how it empowers you to create a beautiful reality for yourself, a beautiful life for yourself, the way you would like to live your life. Unfortunately, all other modalities try to fit you into this reality and make you comfortable, but within that reality, they don't like to give you the choice of changing your reality the way you would like to change. So I would strongly recommend access to anyone who's not knowing what to do in life.
So I think that's a very fitting end to our session, unless you have something else you'd like to say to us.
No, it's just this, that please enjoy, have fun, do what works for you. Many people say, "Oh, I want to do it, but I can't. The dates are not okay." That I said, it's your choice. Please follow your choice. Always honor the other people's choice, and never ever try to force anyone on anything. So we're both having fun, enjoying life. Yeah, and I see you are having a lot of fun.
And I wish you a lot of fun, a lot of health, and thank you very much, sir, for taking out the time.
Thank you,
with us, and sharing your life experience with us.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to our next interview when you and Kiran will both grace us, and let's have another conversation on that day.
Definitely.
Right? So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All the very best to you, sir.
So very kind of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.